Yeah, hello friends. Hope you're doing good. So this is Alan Josh, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you some two other factors that I do consider in my research on cryptocurrencies and especially altcoins. In the previous videos I highlighted various platforms where you can spot highly promising cryptocurrencies, and I also mentioned the fact that Bitcoin has done a great deal of job in this space by drawing attention to the crypto space. But much beyond what Bitcoin does, we have seen not only many institutions now trusting the cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology. Many institutional funds are flowing into this space right now. Many other persons' attentions are drawn by many regular people, and so it's pulling so much funds into the space. Just about yesterday, the crypto space experienced the market cap, a total market cap that is above $2 trillion. And so it actually tells a lot about how much attention is being drawn to this space. But I highlighted the fact that even as much as Bitcoin is getting popular, one very important thing it has done to the crypto space is it has drawn attention to the possibilities, the vast possibilities that are available in the blockchain technology. Okay, the success of Bitcoin has drawn attention to what can be possible through the blockchain technology. And not only have we seen institutions venturing into this space, or putting their funds in a what they see as a safe haven like Bitcoin and some other coins like that, but we have seen many IT solution providers and many traditional institutions now looking at how to use the blockchain technology to render some of the services they had been rendering, or some other persons looking for how to replicate some of the conventional services that we have in the traditional world, how to replicate the same thing on the blockchain. So because of that, it's now become much easier to study some cryptocurrencies based on their use cases and based on some other factors. And in this particular video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to predict what a future prospect of a coin would be, or a cryptocurrency project would be, based on the use case and then the founders of it. And like I said, take for example Ethereum. For example, is different from Bitcoin in the sense that it's a platform that created that makes it easier for some other platforms to build their blockchain solutions or blockchain projects on the platform, unlike Bitcoin that is mostly a cryptocurrency built on a blockchain, and then it runs like that almost in isolation. Few other projects had actually come out of it, but Ethereum has a more advantage in the sense that it creates a platform where any new projects can be, any new person can just, maybe you have an idea, you want to run it on the blockchain, you can take advantage of Ethereum, for example, and build it on Ethereum blockchain. So Ethereum brought another thing to limelight, which is the concept of the smart contracts, where the fulfillment of an agreement between different parties, is conditioned upon the fulfillment of certain requirements. And that is what has led to the booming of the decentralized finance concept in the the crypto space, sometime in 2020, and it's still existing right now. The concept of the decentralized finance is something you can search out and look more into, and I hope to share some videos to clarify that on this channel. So Ethereum creates a kind of platform that makes it easy for some other persons who want to deploy a blockchain solution to not have to build the infrastructures right from scratch. So by having the idea, you can simply use the API of Ethereum and build your platform on Ethereum. That's why we have hundreds of tokens now built on the Ethereum blockchain alone. We have somewhere here where I talked about the smart contracts. I won't go into details about the concept of smart contract, but just know that smart contract is simply a concept that allows the fulfillment of an agreement, based on condition upon some other things, and it's not dependent on the parties involved in the agreement. The parties cannot tamper with it. It's a trustless system where if we agree that this is going to happen, if this happens, when the condition is fulfilled, the agreement we had will come into effect. It doesn't matter how you feel at that point in time, and that's what the decentralized finance concepts leverage upon. So in addition to that, many tokens are being built on the Ethereum blockchain. We have over 280,000 ERC tokens. Can you imagine that? So USDT that we use in this space, for example, Link, BNB was originally run on the Ethereum blockchain, and the USDT and Link and a host of other tokens like that are being or were built on the Ethereum blockchain. So Ethereum comes and offers some other service that Bitcoin couldn't offer quite easily because of how it was built from scratch. So it created a platform through which a lot of people can deploy their blockchain solutions. So that's, looking back now in retrospect, it becomes easier to see how Ethereum could have succeeded. It should have succeeded looking back in retrospect, but of course, like many things in the crypto space, it's often not as clear as that until it has happened. So it looks much reasonable now to see because it has happened already, and that's why I advised earlier in the previous video that take your time to study the top 10 or 20 cryptocurrencies on CoinMarketCap, and study what they do, what are they about, and then that will give you a clue about what is actually obtainable in this space, and then what makes a project succeed. And by understanding what has happened, which is much easier to know, it's much easier to understand what has happened. By understanding it, you are better able to spot things that are yet to happen. I know by understanding what makes Ethereum succeed, for example, it makes it easier for you to spot some other things. For example, looking at Ethereum, if you have been in this space for quite some time, Ethereum has some few problems. Number one is the high fee that is being charged because of many, the network is highly congested, number one, and then it causes, the miners have increased how much they charge. So high fee is a problem now in the Ethereum blockchain. And apart from that, because it's highly congested, a lot of things don't happen as fast as that, and that's what has led to the popularity of the Binance Smart Chain recently. Binance came and solved some of the problems it makes some of the decentralized exchanges that were built on the Ethereum blockchain, for example, because of the high fee especially. Binance came with some other smart contract solutions that permit the building of some decentralized finance. Some decentralized exchanges that's used to render the service that Uniswap, for example, used to render. Uniswap was built on the Ethereum blockchain, and it offered decentralized exchange services. Decentralized exchange is something you can learn more about too. There's a lot to actually learn in this space, and don't be lazy. Try to learn as much as you can. It's going to pay off up ahead. So Ethereum has this problem of high fee, and then scalability is an issue because of the fact that the network is highly congested right now. Of course, they are making some plans to improve upon this. They are making some plan on the Ethereum 2.0 to solve some of these problems. But because some of these problems exist, you should expect that any blockchain solution that come with a solution to this should actually succeed if the team know what they are doing. Okay, and another challenge that Ethereum has is that it's the difficulty involved in it interacting with some other blockchains. So the tokens within the Ethereum blockchain can interact with one another within the Ethereum blockchain, but interacting with some other blockchains like say Cosmos or Cosmos, Solana, a whole lot of other blockchains like that, it's quite difficult. A lot of times it's impossible to have them interpret with some other blockchains, and that's what has led to some people, some projects coming up with wrapping some tokens in such a way that you can create tokenized Bitcoin, for example, that is used on the Ethereum blockchain, but it's not really Bitcoin. But some project can tokenize some Bitcoin while you have wrapped Bitcoin or rain Bitcoin, some other way around it to ensure that even though Bitcoin cannot operate on the Ethereum blockchain directly, we can tokenize it and use it on the Ethereum blockchain. But that's such a long way. If Ethereum, for example, could have created a kind of solution, a kind of way around so that Bitcoin can run on the blockchain freely, and then we can use Bitcoin on some other things within the Ethereum blockchain, that would be an advantage. But Ethereum being built has that kind of limitation, and that's what led to some of these projects like Polkadot, for example, and Cardano. Polkadot and Cardano do very much like what Ethereum does by creating a platform through which a lot of blockchain solutions can be deployed, and they also make up for some of the disadvantage or some of the downsides of Ethereum. Polkadot, for example, makes it possible for different blockchains to interpret. So one of those limitations that Ethereum has, which is interoperability, which is an issue, Polkadot came to solve it. And one other thing that is worth noting about Polkadot is that the founder of Polkadot, which is Dr. David Gavin Hood, I think you can see it here. The founder, Dr. David Gavin Hood, is also a co-founder of Ethereum. Ethereum here, you can see, like I mentioned earlier, you can see get a lot of information about a particular token from CoinMarketCap. their white paper is something you can also go through. It has, well, on CoinMarketCap you see a whole lot of things you can. So Polkadot came with very much like the same thing with Ethereum, but also go ahead to include the possibility of different blockchains interpreting. So Polkadot, okay, the founder, we have David Gavin Hood there. Vitaly Buterin is the head of them all, and then you have Vitaly Buterin rather, and then you have Dr. David Gavin Hood, who is also a co-founder. You should have him here. Doctor is a British programmer, Dr. David Gavin Hood, and then you have Charles Hoskinson. Charles Hoskinson eventually went ahead to create the Cardano. So Polkadot and Cardano were both created by the founders were co-founders of Ethereum. So if you, for example, got to know about this earlier, you know that David Gavin Hood, who happened to be one of the co-founders of Ethereum, is creating something that is like Ethereum, but also plugging some of the loopholes that there were in Ethereum. So it becomes quite easier to know that this project is likely to succeed. Number one, because if he was a co-founder of Ethereum, then he should know a lot about creating a blockchain, and then he should know about the limitations of Ethereum, and he should be able to create things that will be able to make up for these limitations. Same with Cardano. And right now, though I'm going to share more about this token economics later, you have Cardano, you have Polkadot sitting at a market cap of about $40 billion, and then Cardano at about $38 billion. That's still a lot far from 244 billions which Ethereum has. So it should give you some clue about, some confidence in holding Polkadot, for example, because there are still more people who are likely to patronize Polkadot and Cardano because of the trust they have in the founders, being co-founders of Ethereum. There's still a whole lot of people who invested in Ethereum and will eventually consider putting some of their funds in Polkadot, and therefore raise the price of Polkadot and Cardano way beyond this. I'm going to share more of that on the token economics. So by understanding the use case, which are the two factors I'm sharing in this video, the use case of the projects and then the founders of the project, it can give you some more clue as to what will be the future outcomes of this project, of this blockchain projects. So Cardano and blockchain, or Cardano and Polkadot, aim to do very much similar thing to what Ethereum does, but they want to also go ahead to solve some of the problem Ethereum has, which is the problem of high fee, high scalability, and then the problem of interoperability with some other blockchains. So Polkadot solves that so well, and Cardano is doing a lot to do that and do much more than what Ethereum does. So these two projects are projects I'm very, very bullish on, for example, because I know that based on the caliber of people that are powering these projects and based on what they intend to do, they are supposed to be able to capture a high, and as more and more funds flow into this space, a lot of people are going to look in the way of these top cryptocurrencies because they are already established, they have their reputation, the founders have their reputation. So I would expect many institutions to consider putting their funds in these projects, and the more funds that flow into these projects, the more the price are going to increase. So these are projects that you may want to invest in for the long term because they are likely to succeed. So still on the issue of the use case, still on the consideration of this factor called the use case, some other examples that I'm going to use to explain this to you is, take for example a project like Theta. Theta, for example, experienced a very massive surge recently, rising to heights that were quite incredible as more and more funds flowed into Theta. Now, what is Theta about? Theta is what, it's more like a replica of YouTube on the blockchain. Okay, like having a live streaming platform on the blockchain. Some of the limitations that you have on a platform like YouTube is, for example, there is a centralized platform that censors what happens on the platform, and they have absolute control. They can decide to pull down a video, they can decide to restrict some videos from being live streamed based on whatever they feel based on their regulations. But Theta as a decentralized platform will make that practically impossible. It will be impossible for Theta as a platform itself to even pull down a video, let alone a government mandating the platform to pull down to pull down any video. So I know as the world is tending towards a situation whereby people just want their absolute freedom. They don't want anybody being in a position where they don't want anybody or any group of people being in control of what they do with their lives. So people want freedom in the absolute sense. Of course, it has a lot of downsides, but the fact remains that the world is tending towards where people want more and more of their freedom. They want to be able to post the kind of video they want to post, live stream what they want to live stream without any government or any central body trying to stop them from doing what they want to do. I believe that has a lot of downsides, but the reality of the world now is that the world is going towards high level of privacy, high level of freedom and the likes, and that's one of the reasons why I believe Theta will succeed even much more than it has done in times past. It's going to appreciate more and more because of the token economics, which I will talk about later in subsequent video, but very important because of what it does. You see, Theta, for example, is a network purpose built for video live streaming, so it's going to do much like the same thing that YouTube does. And live streaming is a very, very big market. YouTube, for example, has a very, very large market capitalization, and if it has that, I think over 100 billion already, and so there are so much funds, so much fund here to actually flow into this space. And as those funds flow into it, I believe that this project, for example, is going to succeed more, and they have some other projects still in pipeline. I think they are yet to launch their mainnet, which I think is one of the things that is halting their progress right now. But as they do that, I believe that more funds are going to flow into this project because it's a live streaming solution. This is something we can relate to. This is something a lot of people can relate to. And a lot of people are going to be patronizing this platform, and as they patronize this platform, they are going to have to use the token of the platform to purchase whatever service they want to, they want to patronize. And this Theta token, for example, is going to be used for a whole lot of things on the platform. It's going to be the currency of the platform, and as more and more people patronize this live streaming platform and they use the Theta token, it's going to appreciate more and more. So this is one of the ways you take advantage of the use case of a particular project to predict what's likely going to be the future outcomes of the projects. One other project I have on my radar is LivePA. It's also offers a similar thing, which is a live streaming. It offers a live streaming service too, and it still has a lower market cap. I believe it's going to do so well too. So understand the use case, and then the founders are not so they are not as popular as the founders of Polkadot and Cardano, for example. But one of the things you may want to do, you may want to go ahead to see Mitch Liu and Jack. The names here, you can go to their LinkedIn platforms to check their profile to see how, and then some of the things they've done, how much they've succeeded in it. Because if anybody who has done something meaningful in the past and has succeeded is likely to succeed in the things that it's going to do in the future, very likely. And apart from that, because they have some reputations they are trying to protect, everybody wants to be known as somebody who has done something successful. So people want to be known for what they did successful. So if they have track records, they are not hidden people. They have reputations to protect, so they want to do all they can to make sure that this program succeeds. Like we have here, they have founded some other video platform, like video advertising platform, Tapjoy, mobile social gaming startup, GameView Studios, and Theta TV. These are some of the things that these founders had founded in the past, and then you can go ahead to check out these things if they're actually true. But right now I believe they are true, and then with that you can use it to predict what's likely going to be the future prospect. So now some of these projects have actually succeeded very, very much already, but then by understanding how they came to where they are, like I said, you'll be able to use this same kind of idea to spot newer projects and know what is likely going to be their future outcomes. And so lastly or second to the last is of the token I'm going to use to explain the importance of use case, especially and to a great extent the founders of the project. Meanwhile, in this platform, especially for newer project, you might not know you might not really have founders who are so popular, but of course you can do some background checks, and then apart from the founders and the team itself, you might want to check what are the different partners that are people that are partnering with them, or different institutions that are partnering with them. There are some institutions that are known, for example, for partnering with successful projects. institutions like Alameda, like Polychain Capital, a whole lot of other institutions like that. They are venture capitalists that often partner with projects at their early stage. So sometimes you want to trust in their intelligence to believe that if they will partner with a project, of course everybody is here for himself to a great extent. Everybody, because they partner with a project, I trust them so much. But of course, they are not here for you. I believe they are not here for anyone. They are here to enrich themselves too. But of course, they have a reputation to protect. So people like Alameda, Polychain Capital, and a whole lot of other projects like. So you can study some of these top 10 or top 20 projects and check out some of their partners, especially at the early stages. You can check it out on CoinMarketCap here. You can go to their website to see who are those institutions that partner with them at the early stage. Note them down, and then note newer projects that those institutions are partnering with. When you know some of the institutions that partner with these things apart from the founders, and you see they are partnering with some new projects, then you want to trust it. For example, these ones now, they are not really partners, but Grayscale, for example, has been investing in Bitcoin, has been investing, I think, in Litecoin, and they have some other newer tokens added to their trust, like Mana, LPT, which is the Live P I mentioned earlier, LPT, Mana, Filecoin. These are things that they are going to benefit from. I mean, Polychain Capital is going to benefit from the success of this project. So they are going to do a lot of marketing, a lot of hyping, just to ensure that people troop towards this project. So you want to invest in projects that some of these people actually invest in. So shopping.io is one of the projects that you can easily relate with its use case. Shopping.io, which is SPI, for example. Shopping.io. So what's shopping.io about? Now we're going to read it very briefly now. Okay, yeah, they don't have all of their information. They don't have sufficient information. I think this is not really stated here on CoinMarketCap. You can go to their website, but alternatively, I mentioned that apart from CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko is also one other platform where you can check the details of a coin. So I'm going to check shopping.io on CoinGecko. So this is CoinGecko, and what does shopping.io do? A lot of people right now, we have cryptocurrencies, and people use cryptocurrencies on some platform because there are some platforms that accept cryptocurrency as a mode of payment. But of course, there are still some other very popular platforms where people patronize to buy products or services, and yet these platforms don't accept cryptocurrencies. Platforms like Amazon, platforms like Walmart and the likes. I think right now, as I speak, many of these platforms don't accept cryptocurrency as a mode of payment on their platform. But then, a lot of crypto people, if you have to patronize Amazon, you may need to convert your cryptocurrency to a fiat currency before you then go ahead to patronize this platform like Amazon, Walmart, eBay, and the likes. But a lot of cryptocurrency holders usually would love a kind of situation where they won't have to convert their crypto to fiat before they use it to patronize a platform. It's a kumba something, or to some extent, everyone loves convenience. So convenience is one thing that a lot of people want right now. So shopping.io serves as as an interface between the crypto holder and then these platforms. So by using your Ethereum or any crypto, because there are many, there are just a few cryptocurrencies that are listed on their platforms now as compatible cryptocurrencies, but over time they are going to get more and more, cryptocurrencies enrolled on their platform. I believe almost all cryptocurrencies, especially the ones that are solid, are going to eventually be able, you'll be able to use them on this platform. So by using your Ethereum, your blockchain, your Bitcoin, or any cryptocurrency, just use it to purchase shopping.io, which is SPI token, and through that SPI token, you can do this within the comfort of your house, and then without having to convert to any fiat currency. You simply use your So shopping.io today is about $217. Order from Amazon, Walmart, and eBay without the hassle of opening accounts there, and you don't have to worry about your type of coin and not being accepted, or about exchange rates and other complicated steps. We handle it all for you. So by simply using shopping.io, you can use any of your cryptocurrencies to purchase stuffs on Amazon or Walmart and the likes. So these are, and if you have been in this space, by being so observant, a lot of cryptocurrency holders don't just like to hold fiat. Over time, one of the things that is peculiar to, things that are peculiar to crypto people is over time they just have this sense of disgust for fiat. They just don't want to hold fiat. That's something that is very common in this space. So if there's a platform that is going to interface between them and many of these platforms in such a way that you won't have to convert your cryptocurrency to fiat, then it's going to be something that attracts the attention. A lot of people are going to start using shopping.io since it permits them to use their cryptocurrency. Shopping.io as a platform is going to go ahead to fulfill the condition that Amazon or Walmart puts in their, puts on their site. So that is none of your business as a crypto holder. Yours is to patronize shopping.io. Shopping.io is to fulfill the condition, whatever agreement they have with Amazon. Yours is to use your own crypto to purchase shopping.io and then get your goods delivered to you. And right now I think they offer about 2% discount for anyone who uses shopping.io to purchase stocks on these platforms. So I believe this is a program or a project that is going to succeed in the long term. Meanwhile, I think one of the downside of this is, what if all these platforms eventually start accepting a lot of crypto? But Amazon, Walmart, these are mostly institutions run by people who are highly conventional. So over time they must start accepting Bitcoin, accepting Ethereum, and a lot of these top cryptocurrencies, and many other not so well-known cryptocurrencies may not be accepted on this platform. So shopping.io is still going to be, to a great extent, useful to many people. Even when they start accepting a lot of these popular cryptocurrencies, you can still use some of your relatively less known cryptocurrencies to purchase through shopping.io. But that's just some of the threats we should anticipate. The fact that some of these platforms may eventually start to accept some top cryptocurrencies on their platform. That's a thing to watch out for. But I think that many other cryptocurrencies that are of less reputation may still not be accepted on this platform. So somehow shopping.io is still going to be around for such a long time, and I believe they're going to keep improving stuff to make things convenient for the crypto holder to patronize many e-commerce platforms. So by studying these programs of these projects, you are able to understand how the use case. For example, I forgot to mention the fact that when I spotted shopping.io about few weeks, I think around January or February or thereabouts, shopping.io, the token was just about $15. It was just about $15 when I spotted this coin. It actually went as high as 320 some days back. 320 divided by $15, that's like times 21. So if you had purchased this token around that time, if you were fortunate to spot this like I did, and then you purchased this token around that time, you should know that this is likely to have got you times 20 of your profits. Interesting. That's how a lot of things happen in this place. So if you're able to catch a project early enough, and then you're able to get into the project, it's going to be it can be such a very huge advantage. So understand the use case, get to know the founders, and get to know what they are doing. Are they doing a lot of marketing and the likes? And that is going to give you more advantage. And like I said, you are not going to have to use just one factor or two factors. There are a whole lot of many other factors that you need to consider, and over time you get to know these factors. Then you got to understand how to apply them in your considerations. So eventually it is this robust knowledge that you get from understanding the various factors that eventually inform your decision making. And the more knowledgeable you get about these factors to consider, the more informed your decisions are going to be, and the more likely your decisions are to get you some success in your crypto journey. So thank you so much. I do hope that you have got one or two things in the course of me talking about this, and see you again in subsequent video.